Hi you all, good night everyone. How you all doing? Let me first say happy new year to all of you guys. I know some people might be saying, oh, it's too late now to be saying happy new year. The month is nearly finished, but I'm still gonna say it. Happy new year. I want to wish you, my viewers and my subscribers, all the best for 23. I hope all your plans come true. You know, things you want to do. You know, as a matter of fact, I always just tell people, just take one day at a time. Take one day at a time, 1 month at a time, and do what you have to do. So what you didn't get to do last year, you do this year. And God's willing, God's spare lives, what you don't get to do this year, you do next year. So just take one day at a time. So happy new year to you guys, and thank you to my viewers and my subscribers. Thank you to my old subscribers, and thank you to my new subscribers. So welcome to Karen Vibes. So that's Karen Vibes with an exclamation sign, and you can find me on YouTube. So I haven't reached up to my 50 subscribers yet in order for me to go live on YouTube. So I still have to be doing my videos and then uploading them onto my page. But as they say in Jamaica, you have to creep before you walk. So yeah, that's it. So again, welcome. Thank you for having me in your space. And tonight I'll be starting a new book. So the first book I read was Come Back Old Iron Blue, written by Elkanah Rule, and we had finished off that book. So I'm starting on a new book, and this book is the setting is in Trinidad, right? The setting is in Trinidad, and the name of the book is called Minty Alley. So it doesn't have it on the cover because it's an old book. I've had this book for a very long time. So yeah, it's actually on here, Minty Alley. Very interesting book. And the name of it is called, as I said before, Minty Alley. Now I have read this book about 3 times. And you know, sometimes you read a book and you have to read it again to get a better understanding. Yeah. So I've read this book about 3 times, and I must say this book is about drama. It has drama, suspense. It's bittersweet. So it's drama, suspense. It's bitter, it's sweet. You know, it's let me tell you the setting. The setting is in a yard, like a big yard. You know those like you'd have a tenement yard in Jamaica? Yes. So it's the setting is in a big yard, and like you'd have a big house, and then persons rent a room. Yes. And then once you see that, you know, different characters, all the characters come out. Yes, so it's a big yard, people rent the rooms, and you have the different characters. You know, you have drama, suspense, comedy, all of that. So it has drama, suspense, comedy, and it's bitter sweet. But it's a lovely book, and it has a lot of learning lessons in it. I did ask for comments on my last book that I read, Old Iron Blue. Haven't gotten any as yet, but I'm still hopeful. And I'm hopeful by the end of this book, I will be able to interact with you and get your comments, get your feedback on the books that I'm reading and the book that I read so far. Alright, so let me just say, as I usually do, grab a hot cup of I was going to say a hot cup of coffee. Why is coffee on my brain? Grab a hot cup of tea or coffee, or a cool glass of maybe lemonade or fruit punch or a June plum drink, whatever drink that you like, and just sit back and enjoy my reading. And as you go along, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Alright, so as I said, so without further ado, as I said, the name of the book is Minty Alley. It's written by, the name of the author is C.L.R James. So it's written by C.L.R James. And he is a West Indian author. So it's Minty Alley, written by C.L.R James, with an introduction by Kenneth Ramshan. And it's narrated by me, Karen Way. Alright, so the introduction to this book is very lengthy. Yeah, the introduction is very lengthy. So I'm not going to read all of the introduction. I'm not going to do that. Or maybe what I can do, each time I come on, I can read some of the introduction. Or just give you an overview of basically what it's saying. Or maybe what I'll do is just read the front part of it. So as I said before, the setting of this is in Trinidad. Right? And it's a big yard. Like it are called tenement yard. Everybody have them room and, you know, drama, suspense. You see the different characters that play. Right? So, and it talks a bit about the different, so the introduction speaks a bit about the different characters in the story. You know, their hopes and their dreams and stuff like that. It speaks about, it's introducing other books as well, on a Trinidadian books as well. That's basically. Alright, so let me read a part of the introduction to you, and then I guess each time I'm going to read a book. When I come on, we'll just read up. We will keep reading the parts of the introduction until we are finished. Introduction. So without further ado. Introduction. Mr. James' novel has been out of print for almost 25 years. The present edition offers an opportunity to sketch out some of the The present edition offers an opportunity to sketch out some of the continuities in the West Indian literary scene, and to introduce a new generation to an important and interesting work by the most distinguished West Indian of our time and his. Almost every year since 1950, the number of new novels by West Indians have increased. Most of these have been first published in the English capital, and every well-known West Indian novelist has established himself while living there. London is indisputably the West Indian literary capital. The increase in West Indian writing since 1950 is clearly related to developments in popular education and to the growth of national feeling. But the reliance on Britain is a continuation and a consequence of a long history of economics and culture. So I'm going to stop right there. So as I said, the introduction is long, and I want to get into the story, so each time I come on, I'll do a part of the introduction. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is my favorite part. Let's get into the story. Let's dig into it, as they would say. Let's do it. As the logo says. Which logo says that? Nike logo says let's do it. Alright, folks. So chapter 1. Chapter 1. Haynes concluded his calculations and decided that he could not continue to live in the whole house. He would occupy 2 rooms and let the rest as soon as he could. But leave the house, that he would not do. He would tell Ella. As soon as he called, she came. He never had to call Ella twice. Wherever she was, whatever she was doing, she seemed to have one ear open in case Haynes called. Her fat black face shone with perspiration and good nature. Sit down, Ella. I want to have a long talk with you. That's all right, sir. What is it, sir? Sit down, Ella. It's all right, sir. The dinner is cooking, sir, and I have to go at once. The influence of his dead mother still dominated the house. She was a perfect mistress, but never would she have asked Ella to sit down. And Ella remained standing. I have worked it all out carefully, Ella, and I shall live in half the house and let the other half. I shall take my mother's bedroom and the study. I shall have a door cut to connect them. I don't want to move. And with the rent from the house and the rooms in George Street, and with my salary, I can just manage. That settles it. You think you will manage, sir? We'll have to manage. She made no reply, but she turned her head sideways and looked at him questioningly. He knew what that meant. Look here, Ella. We can get $8 a month for the rest of the house. I doubt it, sir. If you let the whole house, you can get $16 or even $16.50. But if you let half, even if you get $7, it means you're paying $9.50 for these 2 rooms, sir. And then you have to pay a servant. It's a lot of expense, sir. But, you see, sir, I have been thinking it over, sir. And as I told you the other day, the best thing for you is to go and board and lodge with a family. And do what with you? I will go and get work. I will go and get other work, sir. No. You are going to stay with me. He looked at her apprehensively. You don't want to leave me, Ella? No, sir. I don't want to leave you. Well, what are you saying? Well, what were you saying? If you don't want to board and lodge, if you don't want to board and lodge, and you want me to go on seeing after things, sir, get a room, sir. A large room. It will cost you about $4 or $5. All I will want is a place to cook. You can take in your own things. From here, sir. We can sell the piano and the furniture and use the money to repair the kitchen and the fence and help to pay some of the mortgage. I was talking to the man from Price and Company, sir. They will auction the things, sir, and take on the repairs and give you the balance. You can leave that to me, sir. They wouldn't cheat me, sir. God, I wish I were rid of all this bother. He put his elbows on the table and rested his face on his hands. Don't let it trouble you, sir. You need a change, sir. You should move from this place. But where shall I go? The month will end in 4 days. If I don't move, it means another long month here. I thought that perhaps you would want to move, and I've been looking, sir. Boy, this lady no ramp with the word sir, but it's out of respect, you know. Sir, where did I reach? I thought that perhaps you would want to move, and I've been looking, sir. There is a room vacant in a house in Charles Street. Mr. Newstead, the the solicitor, and his wife. I know them. They come to the shop. I don't want to go and live. I know them. They come to the shop. I don't want to go and live near those people, Ella. There's another one, sir. It's not nice, sir. I pass up and down there every day and I saw the notice. It's in Minty Alley, the 2nd street from here. They are ordinary people, sir. Not your class of people. Who are they? Miss Rose, sir. She makes cakes for sale and she lives with a man who helps her. She has a very large kitchen where I could cook. But I don't think you like the place, sir. How much is it? Very cheap, sir. $2.50. Well, let's take it then, Ella. You had better go and see it first, sir. If I am to move, I had better move quickly then. Go and see it, sir. I'll go and see it. All right, sir. And meanwhile, I'll look for another place. Tell me when you want your dinner, sir. Haynes tore up his calculations and threw them in the waste paper basket. The short, tropical twilight had departed, and it was already dark. Ella came back in. You want the light on, sir? No, thank you, Ella. You want your dinner, sir? No, Ella, not yet. I'm not hungry. She did not go. Perhaps you want to stay here, sir? No, Ella. No, it isn't that. You go on. I'll call you in a few minutes. Yes, Ella was right. He wanted a change. It was better that he should move. Most of his childhood and his youth had been passed here, untroubled about anything except his own dreams. He had spent 7 years at the secondary school, a shy, solitary boy doing his lessons, playing games but making few friends. No friends. No, not one. There was Boyce, but Boyce was not a friend. He had grown up under the shelter of his mother, to whom he was everything and who was everything to him. Ever since he had known himself, he had known and accepted her plans for his future. You are black, my boy. I want you to be independent. So this is what his mother was saying to him when she was alive. You are black, my boy. I want you to be independent. And in these little islands, for a black man to be independent means that he must have money or a profession. I know your father suffered, and you are so much like him that I tremble for you. In the West Indies, to get a profession meant going to England or America, and his mother had decided she would send him to England. She was a headmistress, and in her spare time taught unwearingly. First, she had bought the house on a stiff mortgage. Haynes was to work in the island for a year or two, and then when the mortgage had been paid off, she would send him abroad and keep him there. Medicine it was to be. Law wouldn't suit you, my child. You are your father's son. She got a job for him in the only bookshop in the town, and Haynes worked in the day and came home and read the books in the evenings. So you see, reminds me of some of these parents that like to choose professions for their children and say, oh, You're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a teacher, you're going to be this or you're going to be that. And they never ever think what the child wants to be. And as we read the book, you will see why I'm saying this. And most times, you know, we don't see the true potential of our children. You know, we force them and tell them what they need to do and this is what they must be. And don't we never think about what they want? You know? Sad, isn't it? Unfortunate. Anyway. Alright, let me read back from here. You are your father's son. She got a job for him in the only bookshop in the town. And Haynes worked in the day and came home and read the books in the evenings. For all the change it made, he might have been still at school. And then, suddenly, his mother had fallen ill. And after months of wearisome illness, which had cost hundreds of dollars, she had died. Oh man. Ella, the servant, who had been with them about a year before she fell ill, took charge of the house and had continued as housekeeper for the helpless Haynes. So the main character in the story is Haynes. So the story is really built around him. Relations he had none that mattered. He shrank from his mother's middle-aged friends. From sheer inertia, he had continued living in the house, but he knew long before Ella hinted it to him that a change had to be made. Yes, he would leave and go and live somewhere else, save some money and do something. It was time. You know, sometimes you just sit down and you say, yes, it's time for a change. You've been somewhere so long. You're doing something so long. You say, you know what? As Jamaicans would say, well, my duppy come for me. You know? Time to make a change. Time to do something new. So this is how Haynes felt. But he knew long before Ella hinted it to him that a change had to be made. Yes, he would leave and go live somewhere else. Save some money and do something. It was time. He was 20, and his life still a blank page. Wow. Yes, there are a lot of people like that to reach a certain age and you're still wondering what you're going to do with your life, what are you going to do, and the clock is just ticking. You know? So I'm going to pause it there for tonight, and tomorrow we'll read some more. We'll go on further. So I'm pausing it right there. So we're still at chapter 1, and we read right there. So we're leaving it there for tonight. I'm going to pause. So thank you folks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it so far. And the book is going to get interesting. Don't think it's a boring book. Trust me, you're going to love this. You're going to love this novel. You are going to love it. Right? So as we get deeper into it, you're going to love it. Most time when you read a book, as you just start, it kind of seem, you know. But as you go into it, trust me, you can't put it down. And I'm like that. So anyway, thank you guys. You all have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Please, I'm trying to get my followers up and my subscribers up so I can go live on YouTube and do my stuff. So I'm just hoping in time that will happen. So you all have a good night. Have a pleasant night, and I will catch you again tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be back here for more. Right? So night night. Bye and thank you.